Dealing with the original creditor and a collection company are two different things. Usually, if you're less than 150 to 180 days late, it's still with the original creditor. It seems to be that you'll always get a better deal when offering a one-time payment to the creditor. However, if you don't have the full desired amount, kindly ask the creditor to break up the sum in 3 monthly payments. Don't be too eager to mention debt settlement just yet at this point. You should open a negotiation by explaining your dire financial situation. On the second conversation, casually bring up the topic by letting them know that you have no money and are possibly considering bankruptcy. If you file for bankruptcy, the creditor will receive nothing, and this is an option they'll want to avoid at all costs. You should usually tell them that you might, keyword might, be able to get some money from a family or friend, but you're still not sure at this stage. The goal here was to let them know that arranging a payment would be most likely not possible. But you did mention that you might be able to get some money from a friend or family. Doing this lets the creditor know you might have some money in the future to do a lump sum payment. If the original creditor offers anywhere from 40 to 50%, it's highly recommended that you should take this offer so they don't charge it off to a collection company. If you don't have the money on hand to settle, one trick you can do is to politely ask the creditor to break it down into 3 equal monthly payments. Let them know you can make your first payment on the spot. Typically, the magic number seems to be around the 50 to 60% range with the original creditors. So let me give you an example. Say the debt on your credit card is $10,000, and the creditor will most likely settle for 50%, which would be $5,000. Now, if you are unable to make this lump sum payment, the creditor will most likely settle for 60%, which would be $6,000. Now, you can kindly ask them to break this up into 3 equal monthly payments if you can't pay this lump sum right up front, which would be $2,000 each month. So, month 1 would be $2,000, month 2, $2,000, and finally month 3, $2,000. By month number 2 through number 4, if they haven't already offered you a settlement, call them and ask them, if I came up with a lump sum of money, what can you offer me? Always let them offer first. Never be the first one to offer a lump sum payment to the creditor. When you let them offer first, you'll have more leverage by giving them a counteroffer. You can also include the phrase, I just don't know what to do right now. I'd really hate to file for bankruptcy, but it sadly might be my only choice. Now, most of you will be working with collection agencies to work out the settlement deals. After about 180 days, companies will write off the debt and sell it to a collection agency. Most debt companies pay or receive pennies on the dollar for the debts. Don't look too eager too soon to settle off the bat. Collection companies will most likely send you a settlement letter within the first 60 days. You'll probably see this amount anywhere from 60 to 70% off the debt. Of course, if you get a settlement letter in this range, it is safe to assume that you should be able to get more of a discount. I typically like to start as low as 20%. It doesn't hurt to ask. The reason you want to start as low as possible is because they will typically counteroffer somewhere between your original amount and their proposed amount. So, for example, if they offered you 60% and you counteroffered at 20%, they may meet you in the middle right at 40%. However, if you counteroffer at 40%, they may offer you in the middle, which is 50%. Let's now take a look at some other strategies to use when talking to a creditor. Create sympathy. In the initial contact with the creditor, advise them of your reason for non-payment. Explain the heart-wrenching story that caused you to fall behind and how it has caused tremendous stress in your life. Let the creditor know that it is your full intention to pay back as much as you can. Create scarcity. Let your creditor know that even with your limited amount of resources, you are doing all that you can to find different sources of funds to resolve the debt. The primary goal here should be to let the creditor know that you have other debt that needs to be resolved as well, and they're not the only ones you're trying to resolve. Create competition. When you initially contacted the creditor, you already created some sort of competition by reminding them that you have other creditors that you have to deal with. In doing so, you're letting the collector know that if they don't come to terms with an acceptable settlement offer, it might be months until that you are able to collect on this debt. Over time, your account will get sold to other creditors at lower prices. Once it's out of their hands, they lost the battle. So it's in their best interest to settle the account as fast as possible. The last 2 days of the month. This is very important. Keep in mind that debt collectors are often paid on commissions on what they collect. They want to get paid, just like everyone else. So they will be more inclined to work out a good settlement for you. Never send them payments until you received a letter. Always keep a paper trail of the settlement letters they send you. In the letter, make sure it states that X amount will satisfy the debt and fulfills your obligations. If you don't receive a letter, don't send them a payment.